Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to go over a couple of pictures that I did. One of which I don't have everything that I used still out, which is this one. But the other one I just finished a little bit ago, and there's a sneak peek. And I still have the stuff out, so I thought I'd go over that. I'm exceptionally proud of both of these pictures. I worked really hard on them. This one is from Mariel Bedeck. Her stuff is fabulous. She does a lot of pictures with hair, things of that sort. But her Christmas things and her cute friends, all that is really cute. I was going to put my rings on. Whew. Anyway, I love this picture. I see it. I've seen it a lot, but it's just so adorable. And so I'm going to put this other one aside. I'm exceptionally proud of this one because I did not use any colored pencils at all. And yet I was still able to get shading. And this is not a heavy grayscaled image either, which makes me all the more pleased with myself. You know, not to toot my own horn, but you know what? Sometimes we got to toot our own horn because who else is going to? Right? So, and I'm so happy with the way this came out. So I used a lot of different wet media and some various types of glitter gel pens. So for a good chunk of it, I used some Inktense, some Derwent Inktense, and some, I cannot pronounce the name of it, but because it's just got a strange name to it, but I have a couple of different brands of this. Oops, wrong way. There we go. I cannot pronounce that. I cannot pronounce it. But it's really nice, like watercolor, metallic watercolor. So I used some of that. I used some of the Arteza metallic watercolor. The snowflakes I did almost entirely with Faber gelatos, which are kind of like just basically like this stuff. It can be used dry or wet. I prefer to use it wet most of the time. It's like a water-soluble crayon. It comes in an iridescent, a pastel, a bright, and I think a metallic. I don't have the metallics though. But for this I used this part right here. I used like the Derwent metallic silver. I used a bunch of different things with this, including, like I said, Inktense, Faber Gelatos, Pentel, Sparkle Pop, a bunch of stuff. And I did use stencils for the snowflakes. And see, that's the thing. I've seen some amazing backgrounds for people, like especially with Johanna Bashford's images. I mean, these people do these backgrounds. I'm just like, y'all are insane in a good way. You know, I just, I cheat and I use stencils most of the time. But yeah, I just use the gelatos, and I have like a board. Oh, what did I do with it? It's a Caran d'Ache, like palette, and it's missing. Of course it is. Oh, here it is. Oop, there we go. And I use the scruffy side. At least when I was first starting to mess around with this, and you can tell it's been well used, they told me to use the scruffy side for the gelatos, and then use like the smoother side, which it obviously I need to get a new one. For like when you're doing tombos and water you know, color markers and stuff like that, it picks it up better. So I use that, and I just blended and layered and blended and layered. And especially with these, I put it on the board, and then I just put the stencil that I want, get it on the board with like a what do you call it? Like one of those foam rollers. See if I can find mine. You can use a watercolor brush, or you can use one of those little rollers. And I do that with the image, and then kind of there it is. It's really not that hard. The only trick when you're using a stencil and like the gelatos is to make sure the stencil stays down firmly. Like this is kind of how I had my finger stretching it out to make sure that the stencil didn't lift up off the paper, because I didn't want to use an adhesive. It tends to ruin. I've had so many stencils ruined because of that. I was kind of loath to even go there with these, so I just kind of held it down real firmly. But the sparkle that you see here, ta-da, is the sparkle pop, and a little I'm trying to think of that, the Derwent Intense Metallic in the pan. I just layered and layered and layered with all these different things. I used water soluble crayons from King Art, especially up here, and in the face I used Sargent Art, Lyra. They're all pretty decent. I think I did use some Neo 2s, especially around in here. This part right in here, I used some Neo 2s, which are Caran d'Ache's water-soluble crayons. So I just kind of layered and layered and layered until I was, you know, happy with it. And I think it came out really, really good. It's so sparkly. I mean, I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but it's so sparkly. So one time a year I can get away with using as much sparkle as I want. If y'all can see me behind me, my cat is just sitting, staring at me like, feed me, feed me. Anyway, she's just gonna have to wait. So this is the image that I saved everything for. Oh my gosh, I used so much stuff on this. I absolutely, look how sparkly that is. I mean, isn't that like just the most sparkliest thing you've ever seen? But yet it's tasteful. You know, it's not so sparkly that it's like, you know, bad. Because you can have too much sparkle. But I used various degrees of metallics, and the background is the thing that I honestly, the main reason why I wanted to talk about this picture. I could not believe how this background came together. I was just like, the snowmen look like they're just literally popping off the page because of the way the artist, it's from Cute Christmas coloring book. And the way the artist did the evergreen things up here, leaves, I did that background in such a way that they just look like they're popping off the page. And I used mixed media tan tone paper. As you can see, it's pretty heavy, but that sparkle. I took, the background is the thing that I am most proud of. It is the make or break for this entire picture. So what I did, I'm going to pull them out here so I can show you, if I can get my little things out. I think this is what I used. I first of all did the background with a light layer of these two. which they are both, I believe, no, let's see. This is bright, and this is iridescent. And this one I used up here at the top, and then this one I used down here. Then I went over it with these three. Oh, almost forgot the white. With these 4 Lyra water-soluble crayons. Now, the board is important for this because the board is where I scribble my gelatos and my Lyras onto before putting them on the page. Now, you can do them straight on the page, like with these. The gelatos, it doesn't quite work so much for me anyway. But these you can, if you just sharpen them enough, you know, they will fit, and then you can blend them that way. The thing is that with this, I did this here from here to here because I wanted a softer look. With these kind of things like this, or any kind of metallic, grab it, thing like this, or these. And these are amazing, by the way. I also used a good number of these on this page down where when I was decorating the scarves and hats. I used a good chunk of this. Especially when you're using a brush, watercolor brush, or whether they're filled or regular, if you put it either directly to the page or you scribble it on here and don't use that much water, like the more water you use that you mix in with this stuff, whether it be metallic or iridescent, the more water you use, the more diluted it's going to come out. So if you want a really strong look, like right here with the scarf, I used the metallic silver right here for this, and I didn't use that much water. I got it just wet enough to activate it, but no more. Now, if you want it really diluted, just, you know, let the water mix in with it, and you'll get a much softer look, which is what I did with the background here. I did the snowflakes first, be honest with you, because, and I used the Inktense, the antique white Inktense, which is permanent, because that way when I went over it with all this other stuff, they did not disappear. As you could see, I was able to go back over them with like this stuff and various other metallic things. I think I used the Arteza metallic watercolor a lot. I'm trying to find it because I put it away. It's super cool. I think I might do a review on it because it's pretty awesome. Sorry, I was opening it and it kind of fell apart on me. So I'm going to cover up my picture for a minute. But this is, I used quite a bit. I used the black, the silver, this. I used this like purpley bluish for this part right here. I used the gold a little to mix in with the Derwent orange. Shoot, I used quite a number of this. This is a whole nother thing for another day, and I swatched it, but I'm gonna save that for another time. But yeah, the more you use of these with the water, the softer the look. So after I got done going over the little snowflakes, I then went over it with using a water-soluble, not a water-soluble, a water-filled brush, the kind that, you know, hold the water. And I went over it with that until I was happy with it. And what it did is it, instead of erasing it, which it, you know, that can happen, it sort of adhered to the the permanent snowflakes, and so I was able to go back in over them with other things. And I think I primarily used the Arteza as the last layer, and also the Arteza for in here. And you can tell it totally worked. I used the Inktense for the leaves too because I wanted them to not be erased. And I believe I used this one over the regular watercolor stuff. And it's Fern, which looked very, very well. These are all the Inktense that I used. Oh my gosh, I used quite a bit. So I used Fern and ink black, green, aquamarine, which is what I did for here and here. Willow for like the branches and stuff. I also used, I'm missing one. I used Saddle, and I don't know what happened to that one. It seems to have grown legs and run away. Okay, but I used Mauve and Thistle, the Antique White, and the Fern, and the Saddle, which is missing. I also, as finishing touches, used a number of Supras, which is the Cran d'Ache water I used quite a number of these. I'm not going to go into all of them, but as you can see, they're pretty. And they're very pigmented. They're expensive. I'm not even going to lie. These actually cost more than the Luminance. But they are, if you want a quality product, these are absolutely worth the investment. I would highly, highly recommend them. But going back to the background, just the softer look. And then I took, what started it was I took this one. And I started blending it in with the background that I had did using this. And I was shocked at how it softened everything and started blending it. And then I used this in the white and then a little bit of this at the bottom. And it just started, I just started blending and blending and blending. And it just like freaking blew my mind. I was like, wow, did I really just do that? I mean, it's not perfect. Like I missed a spot right there, but I missed a spot over here. Y'all didn't see that. See, I'm just gonna erase that. Ta-da! Y'all didn't see that. Oh, well, now you can. All right. Anyway, we all miss bits. Don't you hate that when you're doing a picture and you're like, oh, I just missed a bit. So, anywho, I also used these are the rest of the gelatos that I used. So I'm gonna show you. And I also have my Lyras, the rest of my Lyras. So I absolutely love these gelatos, you guys. They are amazing. I used, I'm trying to find the name on it, Black Hole. Wow, don't remember that being that named. And it's an iridescent. This is also an iridescent tanzanite. Let's see. Galaxy. This is an amazing color. This is a iridescent amethyst and translucent olive, which I used down here, and I also used it a little bit around on the this. So let's see, and I used pastel strawberry. Let's see, to do a pink sapphire, which is an iridescent. I mean, this, look at that, isn't that pretty? I love it. Oh, and this one is also amazing. Look at that, it's incredible. Like the sparkle. This one I did over here on the scarf, and this is actually pretty cool too. And these, if you take them and you take a little, like a little craft knife, and you can see where I've taken a chip off of it and just put it onto the thing here, or you can scratch this way. But if you do a little chunk, you get a richer pigment content. So, and then I have the Earl Grey, which is really nice. That's a pastel. Now for my Lyras, besides the blues that I already showed you, I also used their orange, which is really great. These are a nice alternative to the Neo 2s. The selection obviously isn't as big, but they are really nice. They're about $26 for a tin of, I think, 24, I believe. Because it's been a minute since I got them. But they're really nice. They're excellent, excellent. And they're, by the way, their polychromos pencils are really nice too. Just as a word. This is Blue Violet, which is really nice. And then Magenta, which to me, this looks magenta, I think pink. So, but this is purple. So I'm not sure why they called it that. It doesn't really mix. And then black. And the blue, one of the blues was, sorry, my voice is rough. Excuse me. True Blue. My allergies are kind of going a bit crazy. Light blue. And their white is actually really nice. It's really opaque. So it's really nice. I used it on the snowman, and I also used the Inktense. But as you can see, I like over here, I used a lot of stuff. So, I mean, this is more stuff, you know. I really worked so hard. I worked for like 2 days on this picture. And I absolutely love the way it came out. And, you know, this one is just great. So, I thought I would share that with you guys. And maybe it would give you some tips and advice. And you can see how sparkly, even the bell is sparkly. It would give you some tips and advice. Maybe you could use in your own projects. I hope it helps, and have a great Christmas, guys. Talk to you later.